Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light to the family. This is gonna be a part two to the previous video we just did. They just cut it short. And part two of this video, how can you honor the ancestors if you truly don't know who they are, right? So let's try to get the people back on in here and let's finish this discussion with the Empress Nita from Germany, and let's just do some more building, family. We see they back on ABS, they kicked her out the video, then they kicked me off the video, and the video is still going live right now without me. Islam family, so we're gonna see, sister send me an invite, we'll get her back in here. Ancestors always take over because I had a handful of things I wanted to go over today, but we just gonna let the ancestors guide this and start building. I'm not even going to try to add her in. I'm going to let her send me a request because every time I press the button, they cut it off. So let's see what happens. Let's get this Empress in here so we can get moving. All right, let's get it. Let's give her a second. Maybe I'll send her a message to let her know that I went back live. Give me a second, family. Yeah, family. I think we're gonna do some more builds. We're gonna do some more builds.
Yeah. Okay. Now let me maybe continue with the questions. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on to your next step.
Okay. Hold up. Wait a minute.
We got a little delay. Hey, Let me see if I can back.
Huh?
It has a little delay on my audio, but we're gonna try to work through it. So it's all good.
Well, right now I hear you perfectly. Right now it's no problem.
All right, cool.
Okay. My next question for you, Jamaine, is: are Africans the same people as African Americans?
All right. Let's go into the language of those words. You said Africans, then you said African. So even if these people were African Americans, they're people that traveled, right? They had to be in both places. Yes?
Yes.
So now, if you understand, before the splitting of the land and even the naming of what you call Africa, we were going freely to and from these places at our leisure. Now, the Nile River connects to the Mississippi River, and you can take it all the way to Africa. And we've been doing that for thousands of years before we arrived.
Okay. So, but it's not actually a known fact, is it? What you said about in Mississippi that it goes to Africa.
Known fact. It's just not known to the people that think they're from Africa. You see how they keep us out of the loop? You have the Mississippi mound, right? What they call the so-called Indians that look like us. They built pyramids, which you call mounds. They're still in Mississippi. These are our people. And you see the same similar architecture over there on the other side.
Yeah.
So we had to be trading and sharing information, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Of course, it was all connected. I mean, why wouldn't it be? It's not like that we didn't have no ships or other things,
There you go. Now you're talking about the Moors, and another reason why Moors, because Moor means to navigate. We were the greatest navigators of the 7 seas. Mm-hmm. Any people that were going around on expeditions, they had to hire us for our services. They didn't know.
I even heard that we knew the oceans so well that we could kind of forecast how the weather's going to be, how the wind is going to be, and everything. And when other people came that wasn't from this area, they had big problems on this season, the oceans, because they did not know when to go at what time.
Right. This very same book, it mentions a voyage of 1,500 white slaves coming to America. and 1,100 died on the ship here. They died. So, you know, they couldn't get their own people over here safely, let alone going back out to other lands to steal some people.
It's crazy. I've never ever heard of white slaves in America.
Yeah. And look, we all went to school. Yeah, we went to schools on both sides of the world, and none of us have heard of the story of all these other nations being slaves. And it's historically documented. There's multiple books on this.
Yeah. But it's like, how can you get to this information if you don't even know about it? Like, how did you get to that information? Oh, they're messing with the audio.
Story yeah, let's give it a minute. Yeah, they don't want these keys. Hold up, I got something for them. Let's open up the car. Open up that heart chakra. All that Facebook hate. You know what I'm saying? They need to show some love. We just building with the ancestors going over our story. Everybody,
I love that.
I need to know about
the story. I love that.
Yeah,
what you just did.
I'll get into what, you know, got me into stuff. Yeah. Islam. It's how we get rid of that. We get rid of that hate, you know. But there was a story I was going over, right, about a brother, and he's mentioned in this book, and I've never heard of this book. Just how you validate truth. And this brother, his name was Anthony Johnson, and he was a so-called ex-slave or ex-servant who later owned 4 white slaves. He had over 1,000
Hold on
acres.
1 second. Sorry to
He had 4 white slaves and 2 so-called black slaves.
Okay. Somebody I think wants to.
And
you doing this again? You just did.
Oh, okay.
You know when you just rang this thing, you did like ding.
Islam to the family.
Sounds very,
Islam
very
to my
nice.
Niece tuning in. My youngest niece, she's always catching these bills. Islam to her. Islam. But you know, we got to get into these frequencies, you know, because as I worked in the music industry as a recording engineer, I understood the power of musical frequencies, and certain frequencies we tune to adjust to the spirit or to alter the behavior of the listener. It's by, and you know, that frequency is for the heart chakra. It's to open up that heart. So
yeah, they be messing with these frequencies
so much, right? And they mentioned the Africans here. They mentioned the Africans that came here by way of contract. They got compensated, and you know, the millions of people coming from Africa story didn't happen. Let's see if I can go into a piece of this. And matter of fact, because I don't know if I can read it, because when I start reading, they, you know, they really mess with the audio. But the long and the short,
yeah,
there was a brother who was one of the slaves of this so-called black slave master. And the brother runs to his white neighbor to say he's stuck in his contract. He says he's been in his contract, you know, entirely too long with this black slave master, and he wants to sue him. So the white slave neighbor said, yeah, I'll represent you. And the brother lost his case in court to the black slave master. And they said, you're still in your contract. And it was a lot of stuff happening. And, you know, this brother that was owning 4 white slaves, Anthony Johnson, he actually gets into a situation with his neighbor that creates a fake land grant. He said, yeah, the guy made a contract with me, and he's promised to give me 250 acres. fraudulently. This is how they stole out of our land. You understand? We were already here. So the brother loses in court, and as a matter of fact, he wins his case, you know, from the slave trying to get his freedom, and the court awarded him another 500 acres. So the brother ends up with a 1,000-acre plantation. He ends up passing on the wealth to the family. Was a so-called ex-slave, so-called black slave master. And as I said, I researched this document before I even knew about this book. So something lit up in me and just said, wow, white slaves. Then I found the Barbary slave trades about us seizing, U.S. Navy ships and making them white slaves. Then light bulb. Then I started to research, and I found all these books on this, told by their own people.
Your audio is messing up again a little bit. Oh, and your screen too.
Yeah. All right. How much of it did you get, as far as the last part?
Well, I think, yeah, I got most of it actually. It just came a little bit later, and right now your screen froze. Like, this looks crazy.
Yeah, I start talking black slave masters, and yeah, they don't want to hear that. Yeah, they threw out the video. Interesting. Islam family, bear witness to that, family. So when we start talking about the brother Anthony Johnson, who owned black and white slaves, and he was a so-called brother, they start messing with the audio. They just cut her out the video, so she sent me another request. I'm gonna add her back in. Yeah, family. We're gonna do some more builds. You know what I'm saying, with the family by way of Germany, and I think we're gonna go to YouTube. Family gonna follow us if we take the show to YouTube.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't hear you.
To a piece of that. Islam, Jay Rogers. They just don't know color. Good. Yeah, the audio is a little delayed though.
You think we should go to YouTube?
You can. Yeah, we got to go to YouTube with it, huh? Islam family, Islam. Yeah, they cut the sound out.